Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Maui. I'm joined by my co host, David. Welcome to the Otaku Octagon podcast. We are now on YouTube, so please leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment. And if you're an audio listener, please go to Apple Podcasts, Anchor, or Spotify to listen there. What's going on, brother?
Oh, nothing much. Nothing much. I see you are recording in a new room today.
Absolutely. I'm in the anime room. Well, it's my game room. I finally finished. I put all the floors in and, put all the, trim up and everything like that. So all the sweat over the past year, I finally got to do it. So
Looks good. It looks good. Do you have any more ideas? Anything else you want to put up?
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, you can see the sword in the background. That's not
Oh no, I
going to
see
stay
it.
there. That's a Ichigo sword for the for the audio listeners. That I got Ichigo's first sword here. It's a little smaller than his. I wish I had a big one. That'd be dope. But I think I'm gonna put some of the anime swords up. Like I got Sasuke's grass cutter. I got two of them. I got like a metal one. I got a wood one. I got a couple like axes and stuff like that. I want to collect all like the little anime weapons and put them on the walls and stuff like that. Get some more prints. I got the Itachi poster, and I got Gojo, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
from So
Jujutsu
uh,
Kaisen.
yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen. So had a little brain freeze there, but no, I think I'm gonna do some more. I got a shelf today too. I need to put together, but I think it's good. Yo, so I did watch Elfen Lied. I watched Elfen Lied
Oh, did you?
for the first time. I
Did
watched
you
Elfen
like
Lied.
it?
So it was good. I thought so. I did think when you were talking about it before in the previous episodes,
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was more current anime, so like kind of 2015 maybe and above kind of
Yeah.
anime. So I wasn't expecting like 2004, but I mean right off the rip, it
It's a
was
little old.
yeah. I mean right off the rip, it was bloody. Oh my god, from the
I liked it.
rip, you weren't lying. And I mean, got a little, got some 2004 animated titties and stuff. So whatever.
Do you finally admit that she went through it?
Yeah, from the start, yes and no. So like, yeah, they were definitely doing experiments on her and stuff like that, and like you can tell that she was like really pissed off. That's why she pretty much slaughtered everybody that was there.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, like I didn't see it too much. I mean, they do shit and they send those like troops after her and stuff like that. So
Yeah. You didn't
I know
finish
they
it.
kind of like they're no. So I didn't finish it. I'm still watching Vinland Saga, and obviously I was trying to finish up this anime room slash podcast room or chill room or whatever. So I haven't really gotten a chance to finish it or get around to it. I'm at the part when they reveal a new character.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm kind of I'm getting around to that. So what
Okay. Okay.
you finished anything? You watch anything?
Um, I haven't really started anything new. Remember last
Yeah,
week I believe I was talking about the Immortal King, the show that
yeah.
Chinese show. So I said that there was a second season that I found. So I did I
Hmm.
start that second season. And even
Right.
though it's not really a clear plot right now, it's good, it's funny. But I hope
Yeah.
eventually they do have a main plot line by the end. I believe I'm like 6 episodes in right now. I see something kind of forming, but I'm excited. It's not a bad show. It is pretty fun, like I've already mentioned. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna finish it to the end.
I haven't gotten to the second season yet, but I definitely want to continue watching. That Cantonese still ain't getting you yet, right? You're not falling off.
It's still noticeable. I haven't been able to completely ignore it, but it is noticeable. But it's not bothering me as much as I originally thought it was going to bother me. But no, that's a show I've kind of been watching. But more importantly, I've been continuing my manga reading, and I've been continuing One Piece. So if you don't already know, I do like to collect the One Piece
Oh
books.
Lord.
I do like to collect the One Piece books. I'm about 30 volumes in right now out of 100 and something volumes. So I did continue reading from where I was before. I'm on about the 21st volume right now, reading wise, not collecting wise. And it just reminds me every chapter I read how much I love the story and I love what Oda has done with the story.
So why in the world are you've read it so many times, you've watched the entire show. I mean, I know One Piece is your favorite, but like Jesus Christ, why do you need to read it again? Like that doesn't make sense to me. I don't
Well,
like.
like I've
I mean, why
mentioned
read it in the
before,
first place? Because manga
I mean,
sucks. But,
you don't like to read because obvious reasons.
oh,
Being level of
okay.
third grader, but
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
I gotta read the source
Okay.
material because one, it's Oda Sensei, Goda Sensei. You already know what it is, One Piece fans. What up? But I gotta read the source material. What exactly how he wanted the story to progress? Because as we already know, when it comes to animes, they do like to embellish on different topics, embellish the story to make it more captivating for the viewer. But when you read the manga, you see exactly how the writer wanted that story to progress, how he wanted the characters to be portrayed. So it seems every time I read more of the manga, I have a better understanding of what drives the characters. I see different quotes that I've never heard in the anime, like a quote I just read a couple days ago. He mentions that there's only 5 devil fruit users who can use it, who use the devil fruit to actually fly, not floating, not levitating, but actually flying with the devil fruit. I didn't know that. So it made me think, who are those 5 devil fruit users? So my
Right.
reread has led me deeper into the One Piece world than just simply watching the anime episodes. And I've seen anime episodes like 2 to 3 times each. So that's the
I
reason why
don't.
I read it.
Not to get into the source material argument, but for everybody out there that knows, I don't read manga. I mean, I have them. I do have like a bunch of the Naruto like first novel mangas, but like, and I have like a crap ton of Shonen Jumps. But I just, yes, okay, you can say like books are source material, but I think mangas are. I think anime is source material as well. Because when does something not become source material? Because at the end of the day, if somebody's referencing something, they can reference the manga, that's fine, or they can reference the anime. I think if it becomes real, I mean, what is real? Crazy hair.
What is
Um, but like, you can reference the anime too, because sometimes, yeah, mangas like books come out before movies all the time. That's just what they are. If it's like a series like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, where there's so many canon books or there's so many non-canon books, like you can reference those books too. But it's like Disney with Star Wars, right? They talk about how there's a book that's been out for like 20 fucking years, and then they're like, oh, that's not canon anymore. So can you really reference it? Or like there's like what's it called? With Asta, right? Black Clover. How Black Clover passed the manga, the anime passed the manga. So if I want to reference something that happened after the manga stopped, that's the source material because we saw it. Like we saw it on screen, live action, and in person. We saw what happens, but it's not in the manga yet. So I'm gonna reference the anime because the manga's not caught up. Which I get people like all my hardcore weebs out there. You can be like, oh well, anime should go after manga, and like movies shouldn't do what the books do. I mean, you got to make it interesting. That's why they embellish. That's why they embellish things in anime because it has to be. Because if you're watching something like you see a fight in a picture book, because I know you like reading pictures, that's the only way you can read. You need you need to see it in live action. You need to see somebody fight. I'm not talking. I don't want them to make a Black Clover live action movie, but like, that's just how it is. But
I feel you. I
digress. I digress.
Well,
Whatever.
to avoid going down a whole rabbit hole, let me. I
Really
love
push
that you
up
use.
glasses, huh?
I
Yeah.
love
Okay.
that you use Black Clover for your reference because Black Clover did actually pass the go past the manga and its story, and it fucked itself. What happened to Black Clover anime again? On
Just because it's not
indefinite
indefinite. No.
hiatus.
That's not
Hopefully, it come
indefinite.
back one day.
It will come back. It
Oh,
didn't just because it passed itself. It didn't fuck itself. I liked the ending. I liked
oh,
it all.
but
I liked it
is it
all.
is it still showing?
It doesn't matter. It stopped. What's wrong with
Because they
that?
had to stop. Yeah,
When did
you got it.
Hunter X Hunter last air?
When did Hunter x Hunter last air? When did
When
Hunter x Hunter's writer last write a page for the manga?
it doesn't matter. It
It
last
does
aired
matter.
a long time ago.
It does
And
matter.
then
It
no, it
100%
doesn't.
matters.
No, it doesn't.
Look here. So
It
for anyone who
aired
doesn't know about Hunter x Hunter, Hunter x Hunter's writer actually stopped writing for family reasons, and that's the reason why the manga hasn't progressed. Why hasn't
guess
the
what?
anime progressed?
It's coming
Because the
back.
current arc has
It's
not been
coming
able to
back.
finish. There's no reason to do any recording
coming
or
back.
any
It's coming
animation of the arc when the arc hasn't finished.
Doesn't
And the
matter.
writer's not going to
Doesn't
come
matter.
back.
It's coming back. It's coming back. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
They've been saying that for how
Doesn't
long
matter.
now? Like 10 years?
How long? They just announced it like a couple weeks ago.
Oh man, yeah.
And
We'll
that
see.
and Hunter x Hunter is officially
everyone.
officially coming back. Hunter x Hunter. Anyways,
See?
last week we talked about our favorite waifus, and I didn't per se lie, but that's not going to be our main topic today. But I want to talk about who our favorite waifus are. So, out of all the waifus and all the planets and all the animes and all the universes, my favorite waifu is hands down Albedo from Overlord. Now, Albedo from Overlord, it was a toss-up. So it was a toss-up between Akeno and Albedo. Akeno's from High School DxD. If you guys didn't know, I don't care about race. I make a face. If y'all are audio listeners, come to the YouTube channel. Look at his face. It's weird. I'm
just trying to figure out how you compare over Akeno.
I'm not going to talk. We can have another conversation about that. But my favorite waifu is hands down Albedo. I'm about to show my dedication to my waifu. My dedication right here, Albedo. Now, if y'all don't know who Albedo is from a show called Overlord. Overlord is essentially another isekai anime where this kid goes into, he ends up going into another world. He ends up becoming the overlord or the king of that world, and he pretty much just goes on adventures, conquering, fighting for people, stuff like that. And Albedo is one of the, it's kind of like a dark angel or whatever. She has horns, some coming out, and she pretty much falls in love with him. And I've watched a bit of it. I know the new season's supposed to be coming out pretty soon. I think it's either the third or fourth season is supposed to be coming out. Overlord hasn't been out for a little while. But I think it's a really good anime. But Albedo, I mean, she's just fantastic. I mean, she will literally kill and die for this man. She is all over him. She has loyalty. She's not that crazy. I mean, she's kind of crazy, but she's crazy. She's crazy for him. She's crazy for him, and she'll literally do anything for him. And I'm all about it. I love it. I mean, besides my wife, that's the waifu right there. That's why the statue. She don't like this statue. I'll make sure she's not behind me.
That's why it's in your man cave.
She's gonna be like behind me, just like But yeah, that's definitely my. I don't think she's that crazy. So that's my.
I understand why. I understand. Yeah, she's super loyal. She's super strong. I mean, she's hella strong. Just to link it to, of course, my manga readers. Albedo, we know she's one of the generals to Lord Aizen, or the Overlord. And the reason why she loves him so much is because, I mean, he wrote it to be such. But she's literally crazy. If you don't read the manga, let me just put you on something real quick. She legitimately is trying to kill or get rid of Lord Aizen's other personality. So quick recap, as Maui's already said, this guy, he's been isekai'd into this game world in which he's already had this character that he was developing when he first started playing the game as his normal human self. But now that he's been isekai'd into this world, none of his other friends who were playing the game with him are there. So he's been the one who self-tasked himself with being the overlord, controlling this whole other world. Well, we also got to understand he's not just the overlord. He's also a kid. He's a kid with a human personality who wants to have interaction with other humans. So in the manga and the anime, he wants to separate, not necessarily separate, but have a life in the world with all the generals, the demons, the monsters, whatnot, but also have a life in the human world. Well, Albedo's not having that. Albedo is in love with Lord Aizen. She only wants Lord Aizen to be the lord and ruler over everything. She doesn't care if she rules over everything, but she doesn't want him to have a human life.
She
to
doesn't want.
interact with humans, to be a normal person.
She wants to kill it, right? She wants to like
She wants to kill it. She wants to
draw that human self
legitimately
out, and
kill
she
it.
wants to destroy it. Which
Mhm.
I'm okay with. Hey, look, hey, you know, if Albedo is like, if I, so Isekai, right? If I got Isekai in another world, one or two things are happening. One, I'm Kirito from Sword Art Online, and I'm asleep in my bed, and I have a family, a loving family, waiting for me to wake up. Or two, I'm dead. Like,
Mhm.
let's be honest. Like, I'm dead. Or, you know, the rare case like Tokyo Revengers where like you kind of just like shake hands and you can go to the past, come back and forth. But that's very rare. Most of the time you die. You're
Yeah,
dead.
most of the time.
If I'm dead and I know that and I don't have anybody to go back to in the future, or in the not in the future, but in the other world, then
All that's dead is gone. I
I'm
mean, I don't
good.
care
Like
about
I'm
being a human
straight.
anymore at
I'm
that point.
straight. If she wants my human half, she can. As long as my
I don't care.
as long as my skeleton body, because if y'all don't know Overlord, he's like a skeleton face or whatever. He never disrobes, but as long as you know under that robe he has the facilities for that big man,
I don't
then
think he do.
I mean,
I
hey,
mean, he may got
you
a
never.
bone, but it might
I
not be the
mean,
right bone.
that's
You
all
feel
you
me?
need. That's all you need.
I'm
That's
gonna
all you
stick a
need.
bone in it. No, let
That's
me
it.
stop
No.
playing.
But
No, no, no.
hey, look, I will fully embrace the isekai life. If I'm dead and I got nothing to go back to, and there's no way I can get back to the other world, I'm gonna fully embrace the isekai lifestyle. Like, epic.
Especially if you have a waifu like Albedo. I feel you.
Facts,
There's no reason to go back after that.
facts.
I
There's
got you. I
no
got you. I got you.
point. So who's your favorite waifu
My favorite waifu. I
all
mean,
time? Yes, sir.
since we just talking about our women, our crazy women, I gotta let you know that my favorite waifu is going to most definitely have to be Esdeath. Esdeath from
Ooh,
Akame ga Kill.
got killed. Love
Hmm.
it.
So if you're not familiar with the anime, Akame ga Kill is essentially a story about this kid. I mean, it's not a isekai. He lives in this world, but he eventually joins this group who are
Phantom Troop.
the Phantom,
That's
not the
oh,
Phantom.
that's
That's under X.
that's 100%. I got
It's
my
under
mind
XX.
messed up.
But
I,
essentially, this
yeah,
group they are
I'm gonna check it
fighting
out.
the world government, the bad guys. They
Yeah,
are self-serve, not necessarily self-serving, but they are self-established good guys. So he
right.
joins this group, and the bad guys, or the world government, the world military, who are supposed to be the good guy. Yeah, all know that story. They're trying to get rid of this group because this group is, I mean, they're a direct. They're trying to stop them. They're trying to stop the military.
Right.
They're trying to free the people, but the military's obviously trying to take over the whole world through saving the whole world. Well, Esdef is one of the generals in this military, and everyone loves her. She's a beautiful woman. She's powerful. Every time she goes out to battle, she always wins those battles. So, of course, why would you not love Esdef? But what we really don't know is Esdef is a psychotic bitch who
Yeah.
literally
She's
loves to kill people. Like, loving to kill people is probably an understatement. She
she
gets off
she is
for killing people,
she's fucking
and I
crazy.
love it. She is satanic as fuck, and all she
That's
wants to do is give
weird.
all her love, all her being, everything she's done in this world to the main character. And of course, we have that main character who's like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with
That
that."
shit. See, and we're gonna get to that, and that's what we're gonna talk about is dumbass anime characters who don't want to get with the women that want them. Now, when
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about anime characters that are trying to force themselves on women, I'm talking about these women want these men, or I
Mm-hmm.
mean, sometimes they're boys. I guess they're like 17, 18, because you know Japanese anime loves to do that. But like, she a grown woman, like she wants it, and he
She
has
wants.
she has so many times.
They're like the
But
same age, though.
I
Honestly.
will say as death is definitely up there. But my from Akame got killed, my favorite would definitely have to be Shell with the scissors thing. Yo, when I was talking
Oh,
about,
the other
you
girl.
remember? So you remember before on one of our previous episodes, I was talking about how like um, characters that died, and I just wanted to like isekai into that world and like just fuck people up, like Biscuit from Iron Blood Orphans. When Shell, you know, spoiler alert, this anime's been out for a while, so I don't care. When Shell died, I lost it. I lost it. I was like, they did her so dirty. They did her so dirty, and I almost had a conniption, when she got.
So you wanted to get a Sekai to
Oh
handle it.
yeah, oh yeah, I was gonna handle it. That girl with the dog that like bites her arm and she gets like the powers to like freaking to shoot people or get these giant like cannons and shit. Like she could get bent. Talking about crazy, she's fucking crazy. Like that chick is freaking crazy. But let's take a spin here, right? Take a trip down piss off lane with me, and let's talk about the no shit moments in anime, because that what you just said is definitely one of them. Like what is up in these animes with these kids, not even kids, like sometimes they're adults, they could be teenagers, whatever, having these harems, and it happens in isekais a lot, having these harems of women that love them. Like Akame loved him as well. Akame was, I mean, she had her own like demons to kind of,
Yeah.
do, but whatever. But like these women literally want, like Esdeath was on the top of that mountain with him, and she was like, "Take me," and he was like, like I don't.
He probably could have saved the whole world if he would have done what he needed to do.
If you would have gave her the double D right there on the mountaintop, right? If he would have put that suit of armor on and opened up that one little space, which he probably could have conjured somehow, he would have, she would have been fine. She would have been okay. Now it's a double-edged sword, because if he did it and he sucked at it, she probably would want to kill some more.
She was in love with him, but it's so many characters out there.
Right.
Who they're just do this. It's no shit, right?
Like Issei from High School DxD. Like if y'all haven't seen High School DxD, if you're gonna watch it, don't let your children sit around. And speaking of children, we're talking about waifus. Happy Mother's Day to all the waifus
Mother's
out there.
Day, everybody.
Yeah, Happy Mother's Day. But don't let your children watch High School DxD. But like Issei had all those women. He had Akano, he had Rise, he had the short blue haired girl, and then there's like a boy that liked to dress like a girl, and then Issei got that awkward interaction happened.
he didn't.
What's the thing on TikTok where it's like, hey Quagmire, who do you like? And he's like, I like this. He's like, that's a guy, right? And he's like, oh God.
No.
But like all these characters are like, they have these women that want them and they do nothing. And I'm not sitting here trying to say in anime I'd like to see these characters just, do the sex all the time. Like I'm not trying to see that, but like is it like against anime culture to like not get bitches? Like I don't understand. Like bitches in
shy, you don't
bitches in the nice sense. Like women aren't, whatever. But like is it? We trying to pull around here? Like you were supposed to be the most powerful person in your world because you're the main character. You got plot armor. Like how you got?
But especially if doing the deed will literally save the world. Like perfect example, Light Yagami.
Right.
And Mika.
Exactly.
All he had to do is beat her Doonies down. And they would have won. They would have beat everyone, conquered the world.
Little hanky-panky, little kissy here, little kiss there. Like, what are we talking about? Like, how hard is it?
Sacrificing her at the end of the day. That was the most bullshit he's ever done.
They could have been the biggest power couple. They could have been the king and queen, the overlords, right? No pun intended, of the entire of the planet. I mean, and then Light Yagami just did, let's talk about stupid shit, right? Like, Light Yagami did some dumb shit in that anime. Like, he could have easily won. Like, if I could go in there and talk to him for 10 minutes, one, I'd give him L's name, right? I'd be like, hey, I watched your show, great show, love you. Let me talk to you real quick, and then and I would give him L's name. Then I'd be like, don't kill the cops. Don't kill him. Don't touch him, because they would never find out it was you without L. Now, I know they have that whole academy where they grow the kids and like train them to be the next L, and that's how you get what is it? Not R, the other L. You know what I'm saying? The N. Yeah, you get N or whatever. So a little sneak in the academy there, a little pass the school records under the table here. Like Master Skywalker, what are we going to do? He killed the younglings. Hey, what are we talking? I didn't do it. So
what are we talking about?
What are we talking about? Like kill, burn it down, burn it to the ground. Who's gonna miss them? They're orphans.
He would have won. He would have won at the end of the day.
That was it. And then give Mikasa a little, a little something, and then keep her. She had the eyes, he had the brains. And he outsmarted the cops, he outsmarted L, he outsmarted even the Shinigamis. He outsmarted the damn Shinigami. Like the one Shinigami that was attached to Mikasa, she said, if anything happens to her, I will immediately come for you and write your name in my book, knowing that it would kill her. It would kill that Shinigami. She was like, I don't care. I'll write your name in my book if I find out you're going to screw her. And he outsmarted the damn Shinigami. He still outsmarted her, and he could have easily faded everybody. Like everybody would have took an L, another no pun intended, but like everybody would have took it, and he would have been fine. And him and Mikasa could have just ruled the planet until she died because she halved her life like 3 fucking times. But like easily. And to be honest, if I was him, I'm gonna be honest, right? I would have took the eyes. I would have. And that's just me. I would have took the eyes.
He didn't have to though. He had her. He already had someone who took the eyes.
I know, but even before he had her though, he was fighting L before he had Mikasa. Yeah. And he saw L's face. Like he saw L's face. He saw he worked with L before he had Mikasa. And yes, it halves your life and everything like that. But like, I mean, what average age? You know what I'm saying? Like he's Japanese. They eat healthy. They exercise. I mean, it's literally part of their culture. Like he probably would have lived a long time. Let's say he lived
40,
to
45?
80. Yeah, 45, 50 years old, maybe, you know, like
he would have been a king of the world, so he would have been super healthy, right?
Right, exactly. I'm sorry, everybody. If you're hearing that, my dog is going crazy outside right now. I love him to death, but you know, but yeah, like easy day. Like there's no reason he couldn't have, clapped some cheeks and soaked some sheets with blood from his death note. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, and it's not always just sleeping with the girl to save the world. There's always situations where the main character, all you had to do is this one thing or not do this one thing. Perfect example. We all love to bag on him. We all like to talk about how stupid he is because he is. But Goku.
Okay.
He gave the sensu bean to Cell.
Oh my God.
Why did he give the sensu bean to Cell?
Like, I get it. He wants to like fight people at their highest power. But like he's stupid. Like that's dumb. Like why? Like first of all, he's already a terrible father. He don't take care of his kids. Piccolo's stepdaddy took the kids. Yeah, like wait, he has kids? What? Yes, kids. But like after Gohan literally fought him, like Gohan almost died fighting Cell. Literally almost died. Your kid, your son, your firstborn son, literally almost died. And after the fight, he said, "Hey, good job." Flick gives him the sensu bean.
Hey.
Like, are you kidding me?
I like it.
Like it doesn't make any sense. Like there's no point. Or like
he wanted him to be the best he could be so his son can feel better about that dub. You want to beat up somebody who's already hurt? No, you want to beat them at their best, right?
Exactly. Like it doesn't make any sense.
Not at all.
Or letting Frieza power up all the way. Like letting him power up all the way.
He's like, oh yeah, Frieza, go ahead, get stronger. Let me see what you got, bud.
It doesn't make that makes zero sense. Like Goku just does some of the most dumb things in that freaking anime and in that whole series, like not wanting to fuse with Vegeta because he wanted to fight at his own power. He didn't want to. And I'm talking about like Dragon Ball. There's like Dragon Ball GT, like Dragon Ball GT, Goku and Vegeta. Like but I don't even like GT is not. I mean, to me, it's not canon. I don't know.
It's not canon. It's not canon, but I do like it. He's not as dumb in GT. They make him a kid, but he's like he actually seems to have gotten wiser in his years in GT. But in Dragon Ball Z, he does stupid shit like, "Oh, my brother, he's my brother. I'm not gonna kill him." He
has the power. Look, I get the whole idea that these creators try to do when it comes to like super powerful beings, they like to play around with their food, and I guess it makes for a better story. But if I had the power to go, like I know now Goku, Goku like can do Ultra Instinct like at will now, but before that he never could do Ultra Instinct, but he could at least go up to Super Saiyan 3, he can go to Super Saiyan God, like all that stuff. He starts off at his base form and lets the fight drag on And then like sometimes he gets beat and then he dies and he goes to heaven, gets his halo and comes back. Like, why not just start off at your high? If I had those powers, I wouldn't underestimate a single person in the world. I would immediately go to Super Saiyan God immediately, and I would just wipe them off the face of the earth. So nobody would ever challenge me, because like you're expecting when Goku does that, other people, and I'm not talking about this world like it's real or anything, but like if Goku does that and like out of nowhere, people are going to expect, well, he's going to start off in his base form. And I'm pretty sure it even happened in the anime before. Enemies have said, like, Goku will start off at his base form. If we can kill him before he powers up, we're golden. But if everybody knows that he starts off in his highest form, nobody's going to touch him. Nobody's going to even try to think of him. I get it. He likes fighting. Like, you know, like, fuck you. Like, just kill people. Like, that's what you're good at.
And
like,
it's not even just him going to his final form. He's always in this sense of lackadaisical, nothing can hurt me, I'm the strongest around me, like being shot by a laser beam. A laser beam, my guy. You're a fucking god of Saiyan, and he gets shot by a laser beam. Like, and he's not the only, honestly. Like, there are other characters who, even though you know how strong they are, you know how capable they are, they get taken out by dumb shit. Like exactly, Neji gets taken out by a fucking tree branch.
In the war arc, y'all, that I hope y'all have watched Naruto. But in the war arc, when he sacrifices himself for Hinata and Naruto, like he easily could have deflected those tree limbs or those sticks that were coming after him. Like, well, first of all, he didn't need to. Hinata stepped in front of Naruto to save Naruto's life, which she didn't need to, because Naruto literally has taken a black flame Amaterasu to the gut, and he survived. Naruto's died like 3 times, and he survived because Kurama would bring him back every time. 2, Hinata knows how to do the 8 trigram rotation, so she could have done it. 3, Neji definitely knows how to do the 8 trigram rotation because he found his weak spot when he was fighting the Hunter Killer that Orochimaru sent after Sasuke, the spider dude that like pulls the freaking arrows out of his mouth, which is gross. And like he has that little blind spot, and like he was literally all over the place. He easily could have 8 trigram rotation, those spikes, away from everybody. It's an area of effect defense. It makes a dome around it. It's kind of like when Sasuke put up his Susanoo when what's it called, Madara enacted or engaged the infinite Tsukiyomi all over the planet. Like, it's literally conceals everything around it. It's easy as that. Now, I get that Kishimoto was trying to make that a turning point for like Naruto and Hinata to fall in love and stuff like that. Like, I get it, but let's think about it. Let's think about it. When Naruto was fighting Pain, Hinata stepped in to save his life once again, or before, because this was the first time, and she got tossed around like a rag doll. Like, she got ragdolled. And when Naruto thought Hinata was dead, he immediately went straight to like 6 or 7 tails immediately. I mean, it was a heartbeat. It was like, and then immediate 7 tails or immediate 6 tails, and just went crazy on Pain. Naruto already loved Hinata. He already loved her. There was no point.
I would argue to say it still didn't even help at the end of the day. Even after he sacrificed his life, didn't have to save Hinata, sacrifice her life to save Naruto, they still don't even get together. Naruto's still like, oh, Hinata.
It takes a couple movies. What? Yeah, it still takes a couple movies, because some of those Shippuden movies come out between the ending and then the last Naruto movie, where they show like the wedding. They show Hinata kind of get like mind washed by the enemy and like doesn't love Naruto anymore. But like before the wedding, at the end of Shippuden, there's a few movies that come out between that. And that's when they decide that they're actually in love now. Yeah. So, like, she didn't need to do that. And Neji would have easily, and, like, let's be honest, if you're a 10-year-old and you're that good, when you turn 17 or 18 or however old they were in the war arc, you're a lot stronger. Your
reaction time should be a lot faster.
Your reaction time is so. They even showed in a filler episode Neji training out of that blind spot. And I know Kishimoto tried to pull the whole, he tried to pull the wool over our eyes and saying, oh no, the branches hit him where he couldn't see. But like, he knew that doesn't make sense, because he knew what he was stepping in front of. He put his arms up and put his back and covered them. So he knew they were coming. It's one thing to get hit in your blind spot when you don't know something's coming behind you, but it's another thing to see what's coming and then step in front of it and not block it when you can block it. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Naruto was already pulling Kurama chakra from Kurama. They weren't friends quite yet. They became friends when they were, fighting Obito and Madara. But, like, he still would have been fine. I mean, Sasuke literally took Naruto and suplexed his neck into fucking rocks, like 200 meters down. Sasuke broke Naruto's neck, and then Kurama brought him back to life. Like, Sasuke literally did the Rinnegan pull. He did the Shinra, not Tensei, but the other one, and like brought him in when he brought all those clones in and like put the black spikes out, stabbed him in the gut with a black flame spike, which if it's Amaterasu, if it's black flame jutsu, those flames shouldn't have gone out. And he pulled it, Naruto was holding onto it with his chakra hand, his Kurama hand. And he was perfectly fine. And they continued the battle. They didn't even stop. They didn't even like get tired until they just started punching each other in the face constantly, like, two lovers quarrel over here.
They're not lovers. Don't say that. He loves Sakura.
Yeah, okay. Sakura-kan. But like, it doesn't. Neji did not need to die. There was no point in Neji dying to just bring it. Like, yes, it was a sad moment. It was 100% a sad moment. When I first watched Neji die, I was like, that's absolute bullshit. And then the moment I started thinking, and the more, because when I first watched it, I was still young and like deep into anime. But the deeper I got into anime, and the more I watched it, and I rewatched Shippuden and all of Naruto with my wife, because she likes anime too. That's when I really started thinking, like, wait a second, like Neji could have easily blocked this shit. That doesn't make any sense.
I knew it from jump, honestly, bro. There's never a moment I said, possibly Neji needed to do that, but nah. No, not 1 second.
And stupid is as stupid does, but Naruto, like, let's be honest. If I was Naruto, I get it, but I wouldn't have given the entire army pieces of my chakra. I wouldn't have done it. And the reason why is, one, it was draining his pool. Two, he got in multiple altercations with Obito, with Madara, with Zetsu, with a few other people where he was like, I can't maintain this anymore because I'm dishing my chakra out. Naruto, if he would have been at full power and he just like did his clones, he pushed his clones out to each, because he was at every battle, right? He was at every little conflict and altercation that was going on. If he would have just done that, I get it. He has the Uzumaki chakra pool. I get it, but like, if he wouldn't have dished out all his chakra, he wouldn't have lost it as fast. He would have been stronger to beat whoever he was fighting, or he would have been able to at least end the altercation in some way. Like, he would have been able to save more people. But because he depleted, because you can have like a gallon of water and a billion gallons of water. Like, if you're dishing it out, regardless if your chakra pool is like higher than most, the more chakra you dish out, it still goes down. Like, it still goes down. It doesn't stay up here. Like, I get it. Like, if some people only have a gallon, it's going to go down faster, or it's going to go down and it's going to be empty before the billion. But like, if he wouldn't have dished it out, he would have easily been able to stop most of those altercations.
I mean, I do agree with that, but we also got to understand who Naruto is and what drives him. Naruto wanted to be the Hokage. Being a Hokage means that everyone is important to them, no matter how small they are or how big they are. So, sharing his chakra with everyone did make him weaker over time. But imagine if he didn't. So many more people probably would have died.
But they did.
He probably had them all on his. I mean, they did anyways, but it probably would have been more. His chakra probably saved more people that would have died if he never gave it to him in the first place. So I do agree with your point. He probably would have beat more people and probably would have saved everyone well before. But at the end of the day, he was doing his job. But you know who could have done their job and actually saved everyone from that same scenario? Sakura. She had one job. Kill Obito, and if not kill him, stab him in the fucking eye so that Madara cannot take the eye.
Right.
She literally, for like, I believe, like 2 or 3 episodes. I don't know if I want to do it. Bitch, stab me in the eye.
How many times, like, these, it's like she forgets, like, we're at war. Like, we're literally at war. Like, and it's funny we talked about that. So I'm rewatching Game of Thrones right now with my wife because she wants to watch it. And we're talking about showing how the dragon was like burning all the soldiers alive, and like she's like, oh, but the soldiers didn't do anything. And me and you are both Marine Corps veterans. Like we've both been overseas. Like we understand the concept of what war is. And I'm just like, it doesn't matter if the soldiers did anything or not. It's war. It's literally war. Like, yeah, I get it. We're setting up for Obito to make like his like comeback, right? His like his he gets like, oh, resurrected, like, oh, I'm a good Obito now for the last 10 minutes of my life or whatever. Like, but like, it's fucking war. Stab him in the fucking eye, because it would have cased and stopped so many things. Like,
it's not like being stabbed in the eye would have killed you. You know how many people lost their eyes in that show? Stab him in his fucking eye.
Fucking Boruto. So you mean to tell me? Yeah, I'm about to say it. So Sasuke is my favorite character. Sasuke is 100% my favorite character. I love Madara, but I love Sasuke. I think Madara could definitely beat him. But like, Sasuke is my favorite character. This man, there's a TikTok where it showed like this kiddie music, and it showed Boruto stabbing Sasuke in the eye, in his Rinnegan eye, taking his Rinnegan away. And then it said what a real Uchiha would have done. And it showed Madara fighting Tobirama, and Madara had no eyes. His eyes were completely closed. And Tobirama came up behind him with that spear, or with the kunai, and Madara completely dodged it from behind. There's a reason why Kakashi and Sasuke have cover up their eyes. Sasuke covers up his Rinne Sharingan, and Kakashi covers up his Sharingan, is because it's always active. They can always use it, and it depletes their chakra so fast. That's why they have to cover it up so they're not using it and they don't deplete their chakra. But after Naruto and Sasuke had their battle with one of the Otsutsuki, like they're just standing there, and then Boruto, fucking, like Randy Orton, like straight out of nowhere, comes up and stabs him in the eye. You mean to tell me, like, yeah, I get it. He wasn't expecting his like little nephew to stab him in the eye, but his hair was uncovered from his eye. It means it's always working, which means he should have seen that shit coming and dodged that motherfucker. You mean to tell me?
He didn't need to dodge it. He could have stopped him.
He could have grabbed his hand, or Shinra Tensei'd him away from the entire almighty push.
You push and pull, yeah.
Like, you mean to tell me that Madara with no eyes can dodge Tobirama, one of the fastest Hokage besides obviously Minato, but Sasuke standing there in the middle of open nowhere where no other enemies are around, because Madara with no eyes, he has to sense every shinobi on the battlefield because they're in an active war. When Sasuke, Naruto, and Boruto were just standing there, it's just the three of them. There's nobody else around.
They defeated the bad guy already.
Yeah, and his Rinnegan, well, they didn't defeat him. He left, because that's not, whatever. But like, it's just them around, and his Rinnegan is still activated because his hair is away from his eye. And you gonna let this little kid stab you in your face? Like, you gonna let this little kid stab you in your face? Like,
you can't beat the plot, bro. The plot is always going to win. They had to nerf Sasuke. They had to nerf Naruto. Boruto would never be the shit if those two existed. They became gods. And at the end of the day, the plot had to win. It is what it is.
Man, like, there's so much that they could have done.
I did see a meme, the same, not the same meme, obviously, but from that same situation where Boruto's coming in with the kunai, about to stab Sasuke in the eye, and it's like, if Sasuke was Sasuke, and it shows Sasuke literally changing places between him and Boruto. Yeah. So instead, he's the one who stabs Boruto in the eye, the dojutsu eye. They also had it where he changed the places with someone else, a bad guy, and Boruto instead stabbed the bad guy in the eye. Like, he could have done literally so much with
that's like his signature move is that like replacement jutsu where he alters reality and switches places with him. That like dope ass sound that it makes was like and it switches places. It would have been regardless if he didn't want to hurt Boruto, because obviously Boruto, he was being possessed by the Otsutsuki. That's why he did it. But like, let's talk about sensory. Sasuke is, with the Rinne Sharingan, is one of the highest sensory ninjas around, besides Kiba, besides like the other sensory ninjas like Hinata with Byakugan and shit like that. But a what's it called? An ocular jutsu, a Gekke Genkai, those are the signature sensory shinobi.
Mhm.
And you're telling me, one, you couldn't sense that Boruto was being inhabited by an Otsutsuki, which is literally a god, which if you didn't know, Joshin, who Hidan used to sacrifice himself for, and that's why he was immortal. Joshin is actually could be an Otsutsuki, but like they're god level chakra. You couldn't sense that, and you can sense this kid flying out of nowhere from the top rope, coming to stab you in your face. Like that doesn't make that makes
Kids are Sasuke's weakness. He couldn't even sense his daughter was his daughter when they first met. He almost killed his literal daughter. And that's the reason why she activated her Sharingan in the first place. Because he almost killed her. He didn't even realize who the hell she was. So that's either one, he sucks.
We're gonna have an episode about deadbeat dads.
So
do it on
he
Father's
sucks
Day.
on Father's Day. Exactly what I was thinking. Either he sucks at sensing things, which is literally supposed to be his thing, or he doesn't know his own daughter and couldn't sense her. So,
like not taking the arm that Tsunade offered him and deciding to walk down with zero arm. Like I get it, like his arm, he's still powerful as fuck, but like he could have easily taken that that the prosthetic that Naruto got, like, and he would have been like 10 times even more. Like imagine adult Sasuke with 2 arms. Like that shit would have been ridiculous. I mean,
he would have been OP. Honestly,
he was one-armed Sasuke, and he literally destroyed a comet or asteroid that was about to destroy the entire world, and he destroyed it when he was the Hokage, couldn't do anything. Imagine if he had 2 arms. Like what?
He fought
like
Otsuki by himself with one arm and was going in.
Like that whole fight was lit. That whole fight was really
probably one of the best fights in Boruto. All the best fights of Boruto don't even include Boruto. No shade at Boruto though. They're doing their thing. Apparently they've been trying to lift off again.
Well, they switched the writers, if you didn't know. So like the writer of Boruto, the first writer, he was given an opportunity to write the story to see like what he was good at and like let him progress the story to see how he works, and then they snatched that shit from him because they were like, "Nah." That's why
Kishimoto said, "Give me that shit back."
Yeah, that's why it picks up like halfway through. It actually like starts to get good. I think I watched like the first half, the shitty half of Boruto, like 30 times because I tried to get past it and I never could. And then obviously everybody was spoiling on Anime Talk and Anime Facebook and like the whole Baryon mode fight and like everything with Naruto. And I'm like, I've pretty much seen this shit on social media, so now well, not even that. I've seen this shit on social media. I don't need to watch it. But I watched that whole Baryon mode fight, but that's just like that's I don't know. Like it just doesn't make
sense. It's a decent show. If you do watch the show, like it's no secret. I do read the manga. I follow the manga. I do like to watch the show at different parts. The last time I watched the anime was the Baryon fight, where obviously what happened to Naruto after that fight. I did want to see that animated, and it did hit. Being that I did grow up watching Naruto, I actually have that connection with him being one of my first animes. So it hit where it needed to hit. But the anime itself tries so hard to make Boruto the main focal point of the show. And come on now, we love Naruto. Give us Naruto. We want to see Naruto. We want to see Sasuke. And you gotta know your audience.
I'm not gonna go down this rabbit hole, but that's just another thing. Like we want to see our characters that we grew up with. We want to see them prime. Like we want to see them like adult and like fight. Like people really watch Boruto for Naruto as an adult or Sasuke as an adult. Like I want to see these characters that we are loving right now grow up. Like Gon. Like Gon has a chance in Hunter x Hunter to get his Nen back because he releases all of his Nen to fight Pito and like demolishes her or him. It's a him, but demolishes. Yeah, Pito is a guy. It's another one of those memes. But like Gon has an opportunity to get. I want to see Gon in that form, but always in that form. Like I want to see him as an adult in his peak form, crushing shit. And like, but what they'll probably do if they ever like do Hunter x Hunter in the future, like a Naruto or One Piece thing, it's probably gonna be like Gon's kids or some dumb shit. Like it doesn't make sense to me. But anyways, so
spoiler alert when it comes to Hunter x Hunter, if they do possibly come back, when they come back, it's not going to be about Gon and Keith anymore. It's going to be about the other guy. What's the blonde haired kid?
Oh, Kurapika.
Kurapika, the one who's trying to fight the spiders. It's going to be about him.
Phantom Troop. The Phantom Troop.
Yeah,
The ones
this
with
Phantom Troop.
the spider. I was thinking about getting one of those spider tattoos with the numbers in it. I think that'd be kind of. I think that'd be lit. But so next week, I definitely want to talk about who we think as a bad guy was low key right. Like who we think was low key right. And I know you already probably are knowing who I'm probably going to talk about, but I want you to think of some people you think that like, you know, that little meme where the dude's pouring the drink and he's like, you know, like, he's kind of, he has a point. You know what I'm saying?
But what do you consider a bad guy? Are we just going
an antagonist to the MC, an antagonist to the MC?
Well, quick question then: will we consider Light a bad guy? Because some people may consider him bad.
So you know, if that's, we can definitely make that an honorable mention, and everybody, you're just gonna have to find out on the next episode. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Come over to the YouTube channel if you're listening to audio. Please subscribe, watch a little bit more. You know, we're on Skype right now. We will bring those specialty episodes. We have a trailer out on YouTube right now. We will be bringing you some specialty episodes, unboxings, anime reviews. We're going to be both in the same room. You know, we're not going to do our final